So, as an empath, I know it can be really tempting to fall into that idea that other people are putting their stuff on us. But if you really want to be safe from constantly taking on other people's stuff, we have to recognize that it's us doing it to ourselves. So, let me kind of explain. As an empath, what typically happens is the majority of the time you have had someone, you grew up with, maybe a caregiver, maybe a sibling, somebody who was emotionally unstable, let's say, and you ended up having to tune in to their energy all the time to see, is it safe to be around them? Can I be myself? Do I need to be quiet? Should I get away? And the more that you did that, the more you realized that, it was a great way to protect yourself. It was a great way to stay safe and kind of have some control over your experience. So you start unconsciously doing that with everyone, everywhere, all the time. And now the majority of this doesn't happen on the conscious level at all. This is something that tends to just unconsciously happen and energetically occur behind the scenes. So most of the time, it feels like other people are dumping their garbage on us, or that we're just receiving what everybody else is dumping out or carrying around or flinging out at everyone else. And so it becomes really empowering once you realize that it's you tuning into them. Because if it's you tuning into them and not them dumping on you, you no longer have to like put up all these cages and bars and barriers and everything. You just mind your own business. I see it almost like an octopus, and you're reaching out all these tentacles to different people and places and situations, just by thinking about someone or interacting with them or coming into their field. So you pull in your feelers, pull in those tentacles, and just keep it around here. So anytime that you are feeling something that feels like it doesn't belong to you, go pull it in. You don't need that. It's none of your business. And it's not your job to fix things for them, rescue them, take on their stuff, because that both depletes you and wears you out. And it takes away the journey that they came here to have and the experience and the learning experiences that they came here to have. So the more you're taking things off their plate and taking it on yourself, the less they're able to complete their journey and get to where they need to be to make the shifts that they came here to make. But you're also holding yourself back and using up all your valuable energy that you could be really making beautiful changes for yourself and the world with. So that's kind of step one. But I'm all about like, let's not just have to babysit our brains all the time. Let's not just have to babysit our energy field all the time and make sure we're constantly minding our own business. So it's kind of a stopgap thing. Like you basically use that as needed for now. But I don't have to do that anymore. It's very rare that I need to pull in my feelers and stuff, because the more of the subconscious work that I have done on myself, on my own issues, the less I resonate with other people's stuff. So I don't have to constantly be vigilant and watching for, am I tuning into other people's stuff? I don't get pulled into most people's stuff. And if I do get pulled into somebody's issues, it's often because they have something going on that I have not yet worked through for myself. So, when you come into an anxious person's field and they're all jangly and stuff, and you come and maybe you're not jangly, maybe you are, I don't know. But okay, so here they are jangling, and now you're in their field, and now both of you jangling away, anxious, 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 and you're kind of bouncing off of each other. And if you're interacting, you may even be attacking each other, angry at each other, yelling at each other, or just feeding off of each other and building up each other's anxieties. So, that's what tends to happen with most people if you haven't overcome your issues and convinced your subconscious that you're safe in the face of whatever threats are going on. So let's say this person is all jangly, but you have gotten really nice and regulated and you've done the work and you've cleared your stuff around whatever's going on with them in their field. Now you're coming into this field and they can start to possibly slow down. Now they have free will, so they might choose to stay jangly. They might choose to slow down a little bit, or they may choose to fully co regulate with you. And either way, you're able to stay calm and keep yourself regulated regardless of what they're up to. So you can observe it, you can recognize it, but you don't have to take it on and you don't mistake it as your own and walk away with it. And a lot of times you can help them come down too. So it's a beautiful transition. What's interesting is partway in between these two realizations of going from this place of like, okay, let me mind my own business, all the way to not having to do that anymore. There was also this channeled message that I did where I was shown that we as empaths can be air purifiers for negative energy, and that's part of our job or part of what our energy fields are built for. And so there was a process that I was shown meditatively where, we find our soul spark just below our heart here and activate that and kind of envision it as a Merkaba. So that's a six-pointed star with a circle around it. And you sort of picture your divine spark here, and you see it starting to expand, and it's in that shape of the Merkaba, and it's growing bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's all around you, almost like a hamster wheel. And so that's all around you, and so anything that comes in contact with that is automatically transformed and transmuted into a higher frequency. So that is something that you can visualize and do. I think I have a guided meditation that I can pop in that you could check out too. So I may include that as part of this module as well. If you want to experience it, it could be something you could do for now while you're learning the system and everything. But really, if somebody's over here jangling and you come in and you're nice and regulated and they're getting regulated too, you're doing the same thing. So you don't even need to stop and do this. Let me envision this thing and create the hamster ball and be the air purifier. You're automatically doing it by regulating yourself. And then you get the gift of also just walking around regulated most of the time, too. So that's the beautiful gift of this. And that is true power as an empath. The more of your garbage that you have worked through, the less you resonate with other people's, you're able to walk around feeling good and to help other people co-regulate, so should they so choose. So for what it's worth, that's my journey as an empath, and that is what I have found to be most beneficial when you're doing this. So if you've got questions or anything, make sure to set up your free 15-minute call with me. You could ask about this, you could ask about the bigger system if you've got questions about that. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.